The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus journeyed to a city called Nain, and his disciples and a large crowd accompanied him. As he drew near to the gate of the city, a man who had died was being carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. A large crowd from the city was with her. When the Lord saw her, he was moved with pity for her and said to her, "Do not weep." He stepped forward and touched the coffin. At this the bearers halted, and he said, "Young man, I tell you, arise." The dead man sat up and began to speak, and Jesus gave him to his mother. Fear seized them all, and they glorified God, exclaiming, "A great prophet has arisen in our midst, and God has visited his people." This report about him spread through the whole of Judea and in all the surrounding region. The Gospel of the Lord. Really beautiful gospel scene in our Lord and his compassion, how he reaches out to this widowed woman, in the midst of her tears. I mean, just right there crying at the loss of her son. And you can imagine the kind of where she was, just lost her son. She was a widow. And then if a widow loses her children, she's kind of destitute, so there's a lot going on there. But as I kind of read this and I'm kind of imagining the scene, I kind of ask the question, Lord, why her in a sense? Like, is the Lord kind of playing favorites? Here he just she's not even approaching him and he just goes to her, Why is she so lucky? Well, I think it is in that kind of destituteness that she is in, that she is it's just an open door open invitation for our Lord to come in. She's in a sense hit rock bottom, but in a good way, And I kind of reflect on the nature of that scenario. There's so many people and myself including, when life is kind of hit its low and we just got nowhere to go, then it's like we're open to the Lord and he comes, And I don't know that it's our Lord waiting till we hit that rock bottom. Okay, I'll come in. As much as it is, we're vulnerable, open, and looking for help, And that's just like an invitation, an access point for him, for an encounter with God. So we see it a lot. I think everyone probably has an experience, or at least knows somebody who, in their, couldn't get any worse kind of thing, for whatever reason, then they encounter the Lord. Okay, so I kind of highlight that. Kind of, there's some of that going on, I think, in our gospel today, but also I don't know that it's necessary for us to wait till we hit rock bottom to encounter the Lord in a new way. I think the kind of the openness, the vulnerability of our widow in today's gospel, and then other people or other times when we've hit rock bottom, that openness to our Lord, I think that's the key to encountering him. So we can have that disposition at all times and encounter the Lord in various degrees at all times if we're open, if we're vulnerable, if we're raw and real with where we're at in life, good, bad, ugly, and different. If we're just open to the Lord, I think we can still have this same dialogue, this same encounter with the Lord that our widow in today's gospel had. So anyway, we can learn from this. It's a beautiful scene of compassion, but also it's a scene of true vulnerability, true openness, and it's just an invitation for an encounter with Jesus. So may we imitate those same virtues, be open in faith, and be vulnerable, raw and real with our heart wherever we're at today. Good, bad, ugly, and different. Our Lord wants to meet us where we're at.